Calling Robin 2 times.
Yeah, Pandeli L in the house, Aquagana, Bitcoin ballin', bring it to you raw. Here we go. Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin', what you need, baby I got you. Bitcoin ballin', Aqua we all in, it's our time, no more sleeping. We ballin'.
You wanna know where I got the dance
Bitcoin
moves?
ballin'.
I ain't telling you. They're my dance moves.
He got them at the bingo hall in North Las Vegas.
What's up, crypto fam? Happy Friday. Happy end of the week. Happy Sin City Crypto Day. I'm one of your co-hosts, David. Welcome to our live show. We are coming at you from our studio here in Sin City, Nevada. I already said I'm one of your co-hosts, but if you didn't know, I'm one of your co-hosts, David. Quick disclaimer, nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please do your own research. With that being said, let me show you who I have to work with every single day. Big Rob, what's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, and the stale Doritos, and we package them up in a fun and sexy way.
Fun and yogurt way.
And then, if you didn't already know, you're watching a live stream, but we also do deep dives. This is the live stream, of course. Make sure you check out the deep dives. And then I'm going to ask the viewers here for a favor. I got a proposal request. Could you like the video and stop playing? And
It's a SIP, Sin City Improvement Proposal.
Sin City, it's a EIP.
SIP. It's a SIP.
EIP proposal here. Now, also, if you ain't subscribed yet, I'm curious, how the hell did you find our channel? And then second, or lastly, hit that notification bell. Eddie, what do we got? Who's in the chat, baby?
We got Russell in here first. What's up, Russell?
What does he
Stereo
win?
2.
What does he win?
Oh, Russell, you win a bag of Doritos and plain yogurt from David. So wait for that in the mail.
Hater.
We also got Crypto Geek here, Oliver, Marky Mark, Brokey Yoshi, Chef Murder, Alex, Sir Babe, and Why You Loud and Xavier. Oh, Willamander just joined. Nordy Guy just joined. What's up, guys?
Where do you fit at, bro?
We have a couple things going on today too. We got we're giving out an NFT today, right? A raffle.
Yes, on behalf of our friend Brokioshi.
Yeah, we're doing that, and then we got Forrest from Crypto Stackers.
Yay!
So we'll do that.
Love Forrest, man.
Man, he's the man. We love Forrest.
That's all I got for you guys.
That's what's up.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you very much. Robin,
Que pasa? How you feeling today, man? That's the
Bitcoin's moving.
You know what, man? We got a new coffee.
It wouldn't be the show if Robin didn't start with Bitcoin's moving.
Let me tell you, man. You know what else?
It's moving in the wrong direction.
So, I got a new Colombian grind. It's from Hualia or Hualia or
Hualapai.
Julia. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but anyways, it's absolutely delicious.
It is pretty good.
If you haven't tried a French press, this is the way to go, man. You know, get rid of those old nasty coffee drip machines. Not enough good flavor extraction. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of extraction,
Money's been extracted from the wallets.
let's take a look at the Bitcoin extraction numbers. All right, so we. Give me 1 second.
The Bitcoin extraction numbers. That's funny.
I got we good?
Oh, I dropped the link in the chat, guys. If you want the NFT, go ahead and register. Go ahead, Robin.
Okay, so pulling up Bitcoin, we were sitting at a juicy 38,652 and 6 cents. So $38,000 Bitcoin.
My weekly buy came in at 38.7. So my dollar cost averaging is important.
I'm
You get the
telling
highs
you,
and the lows.
I have a.
You're still waiting for that 36?
Yeah, I
huh?
got that capital sitting on the side. I'm
What,
telling
20
you, 36,000. I didn't put in a limit order, so maybe I should. But I figured to just trade at 36,000.
some exchanges, their limit orders suck. I've had limit orders on Kraken that don't fill or fill prematurely. I've had them on KuCoin, same thing.
It's all about it. You know, it's not that any different limit order is. It's not like the limit order functionality is different on different exchanges. It's all about liquidity. So, if you have a ton of liquidity, there's a ton of volume going on. If you have a ton of volume, you have a more likelihood of your order filling. And so, if you go into a token or a project that has low volume, I mean, you could set your limit order in there, and who knows, you could get 10% of it filled. But obviously, Bitcoin, you shouldn't have any problems. Any major exchange should have no problems filling your limit orders on Bitcoin. But anyways, moving on. Big pull down here. You know what? We've kind of been seeing this these pullbacks on Fridays, and
Because all the options get liquidated.
you know, this is in the shorter term. It isn't always like that, And people that try to trade on a weekly kind of intervals, they get burned a lot of the time. But
And leverage.
yeah, I mean, you can see here last week we went in at 42, dropped down to 38.9. So that was a big drop right there. The same can be said here. That's exactly another Friday before 41 dropped to 39 as well, and then we sitting at 39 dropped to 38. So this is, and let's see here. So 14th, yeah, and then here another one. So we're at 4 weeks in a row where we're dropping off right on a Friday.
That's
And
why I have my weekly buys on Fridays.
yeah, but
I used to have them on Thursdays,
I
that
wouldn't trust that. To see, like, on the first of the month, we didn't have that happen. So
Fools.
no, yeah, but yeah. So just be, you don't want to look at the weekly chart and try. I mean, it's okay to look at trends, but if you start getting the mentality like, hey, best time to buy is on Sunday, if you go in with an expectation that something's going to happen at the end of the month or the beginning of the month or at the end of the week or the beginning of the week or whatever it is, whatever your strategy is, just know that these things are always in flux. Things that don't necessarily change as much as maybe like, tax return season. You can expect influx of spending power. That the majority of the population gets money. There's certain things that happen. Obviously, if you're in the retail sector during Christmas time, that's also you're going to get more sales. So there's certain things that you can count on, but I wouldn't count on days of the week and times of the month as a good trading indicator. I'm gonna just throw that disclaimer out there. That's my and maybe there's more to look into that. We'll ask Forrest what he thinks.
Yeah, good thing we have a TA.
Is there a day that Forrest likes to go on? Makes his buys, or is there any truth to that? Because I'm in the camp that these things just happen. It's like you go to the blackjack. You sit at the blackjack table here in Vegas, and all of a sudden you see black hit 4 times in a row, and you're like, you know what? I can identify a pattern here. I'm going all in on black for the 5th time. And that's when it switches up, and then you get red for the next five spins. Ethereum down 2,800, and taking a look at the big. Everything is in the red, man. Look at this.
Willimancer said Bitcoin is still holding despite the bloodbath.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I mean, but the thing is Bitcoin is down 3.5%.
Yeah, but it's holding that 38.5, man. I mean, the Nasdaq is down 300 points,
But
and Bitcoin barely
Bitcoin's
moved.
down 3.5%. That's not barely move.
I mean, dude,
no, I get it. You usually get you usually get larger swings traditionally if you look back pre-2020. But I mean, you went here. Look, I mean, this is pretty significant. Don't discount this. I mean, if you're leverage trading, you just got to liquidate it for the most part. Unless you're doing 2x or something. Now, taking a look at the bubbles. Or actually, hold on, let me get back to, before I get into the bubbles, just take a quick peek. Yeah, everything's in the red for the most part. We got a few tokens here in the green, including ApeCoin. Taking a look at the daily crypto bubbles, nothing, man. Just XDC. What is XDC? You know what that is? No. Take a look at it in a minute. But, and then, let's see here. We got
XDC.
What is XDC?
Is an enterprise-grade, Ethereum-compatible hybrid blockchain equipped with public and private states and interoperable smart contracts. A highly optimized, bespoke fork of Ethereum and JP Morgan's now consensus quorum, the XDC network reaches consensus through a delegated proof-of-stake mechanism, which allows for 2-second transaction time, near zero gas fees, and over 2,000 transactions per second. So, what did Brokioshi ask? What's the YouTube partner countdown?
Yeah.
We are at 4,050 hours. So we're just waiting for YouTube to update the numbers. As soon as as soon as they do, we are applying for a YouTube partnership, and we'll be official, just like a referee whistle, baby. Just like a referee whistle. Rocco, will you put it on my camera real quick? Or my laptop? All right. So Robin and Rocco are dealing with some call settings and stuff. So I'm going to take over. And I want to take a look at Solana. Now, I picked up some Solana at $98. My target price for exit, it was a swing trade. So my target price for the exit was about $108 to $110. Obviously, we've gone the opposite way. Now we're down to $94.91. Eddie, do you hold any Solana?
No, I do not.
No, you do not.
No, I don't.
Why?
I don't know. Just haven't bought it yet. Should I?
If you're sitting here talking crap about my chips and my yogurt, and you guys see what we're dealing with here. And then just to go back,
I bought some ApeCoin though.
Okay, so speaking of ApeCoin, right? ApeCoin's got a bunch of hype. It is up. It's over $22. And our hot take today is revolving around ApeCoin. So if you're interested in our thoughts on ApeCoin and its future past the land sale, make sure you stay tuned because that is going to be a part of our hot take. And then again, I know I talk about this all the time. BNB Binance Coin under $400. The market cap is only $64 billion. That is so undervalued for the second largest smart chain that is out there right now. For it to be not even, what is it? Relative to Ethereum's market cap, you're looking at 341 versus 64. So if my math is correct, that's a little more than a sixth of Ethereum's market cap for the second largest smart contract platform in the cryptocurrency market. That is terrible. That's horrible. This should be at least half of what ETH is. And we're sitting at less than a sixth. So that's no bueno. And then Terra Luna, $86. It got reached new all-time highs about 3-4 weeks ago. Got all the way up to, I believe, $116, $117. Now we're sitting at $85. Is it a good entry point? I'm not sure. I haven't done the technicals on it, but maybe our man Forrest, when he comes on here in a few minutes, maybe he'll talk to us about Terra Luna and what he thinks as far as a good entry point, a good exit point. And then Cardano, we're big fans of. Are you a big Cardano fan, Eddie?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, I just haven't staked it yet, but I bought it a long time ago. Yeah.
So everyone here at the studio, we're all big Cardano fans. 80 cents. I mean, I picked up Cardano when it was at $2.60. I lost money, but I didn't sell it. And I picked some up again at $2.18.
Actually, Robin's the one that told me about Cardano like a year and a half ago, 2 years.
Yeah.
And I bought some.
I think Robin has the best entry point. I mean, the best cost basis on Cardano out of all of us here. I think he started buying at like 10 cents. The cheapest Cardano I bought was at 78 cents. This was very recently. But I bought mine. I believe in the project long term. Charles Hoskinson, such an amazing person from the Ethereum team, the original founding Ethereum team. Very slow moving project, but if everything comes to fruition and we believe Charles will come through, like I believe he'll come through, even if it takes 2-3 years, I'm 100% behind Cardano. What they're trying to do goes just outside of NFT minting. Double David on the camera. Yeah, that looks good. NFT minting and whatever else these other layer ones are doing. They're literally trying to put an entire continent on their blockchain. And that stuff takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight. But when the supply shock to Cardano comes, watch out because it's coming fast. All right, I want to take a look at the traditional markets. So Rocco, you pull up my laptop, sir. Beautiful. Now, we talk about how the traditional market, especially the NASDAQ, is so correlated to crypto. So as Robin would say, I have a strong suspicion that the NASDAQ is down. And why am I not seeing the little charts he's seeing? Let's see. Where's the NASDAQ? Right here. Down 340 points on the NASDAQ. This is off the backs of Apple and Amazon underperforming on their quarterly reports. Now, here's the scary part, which spooked the markets, is that Amazon executives came out and said they expect Q2 to be worse. And so we were talking about this before we came on the show, and I was like, how the hell are Amazon's earnings down? Like, literally, you can buy any, like, I don't know about you guys. I use Amazon at least 3-4 times a week at minimum. And you're telling me their earnings are down? What does that say about the rest of the stocks that are tracked by the NASDAQ or even just the S&P 500? And for them to, on top of that, piggyback and say, hey, the next quarter is probably going to be worse, is that Amazon executives came out and said, spooked the markets. They expect Q2 to be worse. And so we were talking about this before we came on the show. And I was like, how the hell are Amazon's earnings down? Like, literally, you can buy any, like, I don't know about you guys. I use Amazon at least 3-4 times a week at minimum. What better way to celebrate? You're telling me their earnings are down? 4,000 watch hours. What does that say about the rest of the specific technical difficulties? The stocks. So, and then if we go back and we take a look at the Dow Jones, the Dow is down 518 points. 1%, 1.5% doesn't seem like a lot if you look at it from a percentage standpoint. But 520 points, that is a lot in one day. And we're halfway through the day. Well, we're about 2.5 hours away from the market's closing. And then if I go back and we take a look at the S&P 500, if you're not familiar, it tracks the top 500 companies in the U.S. economy. Got the likes of Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, Microsoft, all the blue chip stocks. And that is also down. Not as much as the percentage-wise, about the same as the NASDAQ, but only down 97 points. Now, the S&P is a $44 trillion market. So being down 2%, you're down over, what, almost $5 trillion? You're down in your market cap of the S&P 500. So that's pretty huge. And then, yeah, that's all as far as the traditional market oversight. Now, let's I know Forrest is going to do some TA, but I kind of want to let's pull up some Bitcoin metrics. Let's look at what's happening on chain for Bitcoin. So what I use is called Glassnode. It has every single metric you can possibly think of. And if you want to take my face away so our people can see, yeah, and we'll hit it on the nose. The supply chain is screwed. That's kind of what Amazon blamed it on, was the supply chain. But first thing I want to look at is the hash rate, right? Hash rate equals security of the network equals how many people are using it, how strong the network is. And you can see if we zoom in from September of last year, we're close to 8-month highs. So our hash rate is currently 244 exahashes with Bitcoin's price sitting at 39,000. Now, if we zoom out and we kind of look at the correlation of price with hash rate and Bitcoin, you can see When the hash rate dips, so does the price of Bitcoin. When the hash rate's rising, so is the price of Bitcoin. So it's directly correlated. Now let's look at new addresses. How many new addresses are coming to Bitcoin? If I zoom in here, let's zoom in from the beginning of this year, January 2nd. 431,000 new addresses. So not all-time highs, but still pretty significant. And what I also like to look at is what the whale wallets are doing. So anything, if I go to Bitcoin, if I go down here, so addresses with over 1,000 Bitcoin. I want to see, are the whales continuing to accumulate? Are they selling off? What the hell is going on? And you can see here, we had this sharp increase. This was back in February of this year, February 27th. And if we zoom out, you can kind of see, we did see a small drop here back from January of last year. And then we started recovering February of this year. And then if we go back and we take a look at the retail, the shrimps, right? Anything less than 1 Bitcoin. And here we go. Actually, let me do one more. Anything more than 1/10 of a Bitcoin. And for that, we are at all-time highs. So this is what you want to see. So when it comes to, if you don't like the volatility of Bitcoin and you like it to be a more stable asset, this is one of the most important metrics to look at. Is for Bitcoin to stop being so volatile, you want to see more retail investment. Because if it's all whales holding, and there's not very many retail investors that are holding Bitcoin in their wallets, what happens when one whale decides to liquidate all his Bitcoin? It can have a massive effect on the price of Bitcoin. But when you have retail investors who are holding 1/10 of a Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, 3/4 of a Bitcoin, it evens it out. Because if you have a whale selling, but you have shrimps buying 1/10 at a time, it's not going to level out completely. You're still going to see it go down. But it's not going to be a 30%, 25% drop in the price of Bitcoin. That is why it's so important to get retail in here, to keep them in here. I was listening to the CoinDesk podcast, and they were talking about 77% decline in exchange and people using exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken to buy and sell crypto. 77% over the last year. And Bitcoin is still holding at 38,500. If that's not bullish to you, I don't know what possibly is. So yeah. You good?
I'm back.
You're back. All right.
So yeah, it's a little technical. We swapped computers here this week, so never a smooth transition when you change a bunch of stuff. Anyways,
Never lost.
how we doing? Taking a look at the traditional markets.
I already went over I went over the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow Jones already. So I know
Okay.
you had a couple articles you want to talk about.
Well, not so much. Well, the crypto fear and greed index. I know we didn't go over that.
No, I didn't go over
We're sitting at 23, so still in the great buying territory. I like to look at the fear side as a great place to make your entry points. So for us, great entry at 23. Also, probably a good time to sell is when you're in the greed. You always want to go against what the public is doing. And then taking a look at the just an article I found here is just that Amazon has heads for the worst month since 2008. So a lot is going on with Amazon. Just a couple things right off the top. They're heavily invested in Ravane, which is an electric car company. And I know they were kind of doubling down on this electric thing because all their trucks, those vans that you see on the road, there's
Right.
a electric. Anyways, over half of that stock in Ravane has went down. So
Oh, wow.
they're taking some big L's there as well. And then, yeah, that's all I got there. I did see we got some new people in the chat, though. We got, who's this? Stefan Shamel? Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto, my dude. And then Terry as well. Is Terry?
Terry's been here before.
Terry's been here
I believe
before?
Terry is William's sister, I believe. Or wife. Sister or wife.
Will's got a lot of people. Got a lot of friends. A lot
I
of
love
fans.
Will. Will's a good man.
All right. So you want to get into the hot ticket? A hot take, right?
Yeah, let's do the hot
go.
take. Let's do it.
That's hot.
All right, so our hot take today. So there's been a lot of hype around ApeCoin. We had a couple people ask about it in the chat. So we're the men of the people. We're going to give the people what they want. So the hot take for today is this. After the BAYC land sale, will the price of ApeCoin tank? Robin?
I am a firm believer that I said that yesterday. Absolutely. And I'm in the okay. Once again, I've said this a few times, but Bored Ape Yacht Club, they just had their 1 year anniversary earlier this week. I think it was on Monday. So the project launched 1 year and a few days ago, and they just came up with this metaverse idea more recently. And so, here's the thing. Like, did you build an entire immersive world in the span of a few weeks or a couple months? I highly doubt it. And I'm sure the idea is that you buy the land now, they're building the metaverse, and later on you can get into it. But if that's the likely scenario, which would be kind of the bullish scenario, because we all understand you're not going to be able to go run around and play actively in the metaverse that they've built right away. So with that said, you're gonna be playing around in a pretend world, something that's not there. So I think people are going to be upset that it's under delivering. I think people are going to be mad, and they're going to sell their bags. And I don't know. You think that
I agree that it's going to tank, but I think it's going to tank because for the time being, when the land sale is over, there's going to be really no utility for ApeCoin unless Yuga Lab comes out and announces, hey, you can use your ApeCoin to blah, 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 blah. So the reason the price is so high right now is because everyone is going out and buying ApeCoin because they know they have to use that to buy the land in the BAYC metaverse. And once that subsides, people are going to dump their bags. You're going to have people that weren't able to get in on the auction to buy the land sale. Now they have all this ApeCoin. They're like, well, what am I going to do with it? Dump. All the extra ApeCoin you had, dump. So again, that doesn't mean the coin is going anywhere long term. It just means in the short term, after the land sale, 100%, I can see 80, 90% drop in the price of ApeCoin. So if you're holding ApeCoin, be careful. Understand that there is going to be a lot of volatility after the land sale happens. So that's kind of my take on it. So again, if you're holding ApeCoin, this is not financial advice, but I would looking at least taking some profit if you're in profit before the land sale happens, just to cover your bases.
It literally has two of the indicators that you want to stay away from when you're looking for a good project to invest in. The first being it's a new token that just released and it's pumping. It's literally been out for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, if that
3.5 weeks, not even a month. So it's a new token, hasn't been out yet. And then on top of that, you have hear the news, or was it buy the news, sell the rumor? Anyways,
buy the rumor, sell the news.
I always forget the order of that. But anyways, basically, don't FOMO in. That's what it means. Because when you deliver, when you finally come to it, then that's it, man. I'm telling you. All right. Without further ado, we want to get out of this hot take section.
Yeah. And it's getting hot in the studio. I'm about to go turn the AC on.
So the AC, you always blast AC, man. David's that guy. Like, I feel bad for his wife. You know, his wife's like sleeping.
Feel bad
with,
for
like,
my
all
bank
the
account.
Does your wife sleep with like a million blankets?
You
That's
should
what I
feel
wanna
bad
know.
for my bank account because my power bill is through the roof during the summer. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Let's not waste any more time. We have our and your favorite TA guru on our show, Forrest from Crypto Stackers. Let's roll the beautiful intro for Forrest and bring him on. Forrest,
What's up, my dude?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
what's up, brother? Thank you. Hey, sorry about the delay. We just swapped computers, so some of the software got intermingled and screwed. So we're having some issues there, but thank you so much for your patience. We're super excited to have you. Did you get your run in today for a step in?
Yeah, literally. That's why I probably look a little sweaty. I ran like
I don't know, 30 minutes ago, I finished up and just right into TA, you know?
That's amazing.
Stepping, you gotta stay consistent or you're missing out on those earnings.
I saw the price of the sneakers went up because when I was looking at it about a week ago, it was at 12 Solana. Now it's over 16.
Well, so until today, they came out, they're manipulating the prices of the tokens. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of this. So the GST price, which is the token that you earn, just like skyrocketed yesterday. It went to like $9.
Oh, wow.
Which if you can earn more money, then it makes sense that you'd be willing to pay more money for the NFTs that allow you to earn that money.
Right.
But then what they did is this morning they came out with this new minting event, and basically they removed the GST sync from the game. So normally you have to spend GST to mint new NFTs and sneakers, and they just said, nope, it's not going to cost GST for a limited time. We're only going to charge you GMT. GMT is their other token, their governance token. So basically, by doing that, they were manipulating the price. So GST crashed from $9 down to $5, and GMT is just steadily rising up. Kind of annoying that they're doing that, but it's just, earnings are still good, so can't complain.
Now to clarify, when you get your rewards, you said you earn GST, correct?
For now, yeah. For now, the only earnings in the game are GST. Eventually, they will add GMT earnings. So you'll be able to earn both the GST coin and the GMT coin within the game.
Now, yesterday I saw you tweeted out, it's funny, you tweeted out like a short position on, or you were talking about maybe going short on ApeCoin. And then I like checked the price of ApeCoin like a few hours later, and then it started tanking. I was like, oh, look at my boy over here.
You might know what he's talking about, possibly.
Yeah, so I tweeted that out, and actually it started running up to $27, but that was all part of the plan. So like I shorted at 22 because I knew that was potentially resistance, but we blew through 22, so I shorted again, way heavier, like 3x the position at 27, knowing that 27's resistance, it's kind of going to come back down to 22. Got out of the position at 22 at break even, and then profited on the $27 short. So not a bad little trade yesterday.
That's awesome. Now, real quick before you get into your segment, do you think ApeCoin is going to tank? It was our hot take today, whether ApeCoin would tank after the BAYC land sale. Well, what's your kind of position on that?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I think what I've been hearing about the land sale, and I haven't done a deep dive on this, so I'm not fully educated on it. However, I believe that there's not enough people that KYC'd. So there's like this whole big thing, like everybody was upset that Yuga Labs wanted to KYC people. And they're like, why are you? And they didn't, I don't believe Yuga Labs communicated why they wanted to KYC people. They didn't say it was for a land sale. So a bunch of people who are anti-KYC didn't KYC. So they aren't going to be able to mint in that early land sale. So like, I don't know that land sale is actually going to sell out right away. But I think there's going to be a lot of people waiting on the sidelines to actually buy up the land afterwards with ApeCoin. Now, I think it could crash. ApeCoin could crash after the land sale. However, if they list that land on a secondary marketplace and the secondary sales are done in ApeCoin, that could push ApeCoin even further, right? So if instead of throwing it on OpenSea, where you pay for the land in ETH on the secondary market, if they have their own marketplace lined up and their own exchange lined up for that land, and I think it's like 5,000 parcels, they're probably going to do a ridiculous amount of volume. And if all that volume is done in ApeCoin, I think ApeCoin could go even higher. So I think that's the big unknown right now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they've announced something, but if they do have a marketplace lined up, I think ApeCoin will go even
and
higher.
That's a really good point. And I haven't heard about them doing their own marketplace. So, but that's a really good point. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Just take all the fees yourself and keep the value of ApeCoin high. So, all right, Forrest, please go ahead. Do your thing, my friend.
Yeah, let me switch to sharing my screen here. Let me know if you guys can see
We are good.
Bitcoin chart. Sweet. Yeah, so I mean, everyone's a little bit uncomfortable right now. Really what it comes down to is I'll flash up the S&P 500 chart, as you guys already alluded to. I've kind of got this fractal on because I'll actually explain that. It's kind of interesting. we're coming down to kind of this support level for the S&P 500. And as you guys mentioned, earnings for a couple of large tech companies are bad today. So things aren't looking good. Actually, Bill from Token Metrics gave me some analysis on just in general, the legacy market looks really bad. So the question is, are they going to taper as aggressively? Or is this already crashing to the point where maybe they're going to print more money? We don't know. But what this fractal actually is on the S&P 500 is into midterms every single year. Actually, let me zoom out to the daily. Usually there's a period every midterm election year for the S&P 500, there's a period of uncertainty and then a pump into midterms, right? So you have that period of uncertainty and then up into midterms. And you can go back, for the last 6 or 7 elections, and it's always uncertainty and then a pump into midterms. Well, I took this fractal right here, and it's interesting because it's coming out of this big 2007, 2008, 2009 financial crisis crash where we started going up very, very rapidly, recovering. And it's actually similar to what we saw with the COVID crash, right? The pandemic crash. We had this massive crash. We're moving really, really rapidly out of it, continuing to move up and make all-time highs. And if we just throw on that same exact fractal, which I'm not crazy about fractal analysis, but this fractal is so stinking similar to what we actually saw back in 2010 midterms that it's like, well, I wouldn't be surprised. I know, and all this to say, big disclaimer, the macro landscape is much different than it was back then in 2010, but some things never change. And right now we are seeing this fractal play out really, really smoothly and very, very closely going into a midterm election year. So wouldn't be surprised if we see let me move that out of the way, the reverse head and shoulders on the S&P 500, and we get one last pump before a major crash. A lot of times, if you go back and look at the S&P 500 crashes, you get these periods of uncertainty, then you get the pumps, right? And then to make a new all-time high or almost a double top, and then you get the big crash. You pump up, you get this period of uncertainty where it gets really wishy-washy, right? And then you make up one last all-time high before the big crash. Right. And that's could be what I'm speculating, right? I'm not going to be trading based off of this or investing based off of this analysis, but I find it interesting, right? I'm speculating, all right, this is the wishy-washy uncertainty, pump into midterms, and then we get our big crash that everybody's predicting right now. That's kind of where my mind is at. Although, again, I wouldn't be surprised if things just look ugly and we go down from here as well. It's still very, very uncertain at this point. What I do know is that we can make money in this market regardless of what price does if we continue to buy support and sell resistance, and we continue to invest and accumulate at these low oversold levels, and we are disciplined about taking profits, right? Or at the very least, not buying at these tops, right? When the market's overbought. So looking at Bitcoin here, guys, this isn't anything too out of what we expected, right? Since I've had this green box, I've not changed the location of this green buy zone, right? Since we started correcting up here. So this green zone this box has been there for roughly the last 32 days. And we're just in this nice little initial ladder zone, right? Do we want to go all in on this level? No, of course not. Right. But we can, make a couple of trades in here. We can buy Bitcoin between, $40. Personally, my buy was at 39.6, right? All the way down to this support here, right? And buy a little bit more at around $37,000. Why? Because we have this nice band of trendline support. We have tons of margin pressure levels and risk reward ratio levels and other nice support levels in this zone that could very easily push us back up to these highs, especially if the S&P 500 turns around, especially if the legacy market turns around, right? So, if you have 10 to 20% of your portfolio in stablecoin. I don't know what people have in their stablecoin portfolios, but taking what is in somebody's stablecoin portfolio, say, for easy numbers, you have $10,000 in stablecoins, going and investing $2,000 of that $10,000 at this level is, in my opinion, not financial advice, but not a terrible idea. And then you save for the lower levels, right? So I am buying this zone, but I'm not buying it super, super aggressively. I am saving stuff for these other support levels that we have lower, which is at $34,000 and $29,000 to $30,000, and then one more at around $23,000 to $24,000, which I talked about that level at length last time. But even if we do go into a really nasty downtrend bear market here, it's very, very unlikely that we do what I just drew out, right? It's very, very unlikely. It's more likely, in my opinion, I'll draw this how I think this would probably play out, is we get some sort of bounce at this support level. Now, we may have already had that bounce, right? But we probably get some sort of relief at this support level, give us an opportunity to take a little bit of profits, right? A bounce at this level, right? A bounce at this level, and then probably a very large bounce at $23,000 to $24,000, all of which give us opportunities to trade and make money and invest at these low levels, right, where we're going to be able to turn around and sell in a bull market later on down the road, because we are going to get another bull market in crypto. There's no doubt about it. Now, when is obviously the big question. I mean, probably around Bitcoin's next halving cycle. We're already halfway there. We're I believe over the halfway point to Bitcoin's next halving cycle. So I went over the margin pressure levels and the sunset levels on Bitcoin's chart last week. I believe we wanted to do some technical analysis on Oasis Rose and Elrond, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so I've just typed in, I'm switching over to Crypto Stackers Pro here. I've just typed in Rose into the ticker box here, and for some reason it's not populating. One second. Usually it might just have to hit enter, or maybe I need to refresh. Let me refresh. Oh, of course, as soon as I refresh, it loads, which is how it goes.
Technology, my man.
Yeah. Go. All right. Let's get this chart pulled up.
We asked our chat if what they wanted you to cover yesterday. So those are the a couple of the projects that we selected out of the chat's suggestions. So
awesome. Yeah, so Oasis Rose, as you can see in the watermark in the background, that's the chart that I've got pulled up. These with Oasis Rose, margin pressure levels lately have been money. They've been money, and they've been money for quite a while. So I remember talking about Oasis Rose when it was really, really running up to 60 cents, and we were actually able to call this. Now, I didn't trade it, so I can't take too much credit, but I do remember distinctly calling this in early January on my channel of, hey, we did some technical analysis on Oasis Rose. Somebody requested it, and I'd be like, I'd be taking profits at 60 cents. If we throw on the easy bands, I believe the easy band resistance is up there as well. So it was already overextended against these red easy bands, and our margin pressure level, the point at which the 2x buying pressure from this local low runs out of steam and usually causes a correction, was at 61 cents, right? And then if we throw on our short margin pressure levels from this high, where was the place to buy? Where was the support? Well, the support was our 1x short level, right? We fell right down to this nice support level, and we did this 1x, right? This 1x to 2x short bounce. This is the money trade if you can catch it. It happens out of 100 cryptocurrencies. When we're in a big correction, I'd say there's always 20 or 30 that do this 1x short to 2x short bounce. Bitcoin did it. Ethereum did it. A couple other big ones, I believe Solana and Avax did it. I'd have to go back and double check off the top of my head. But this is the trade that I took on Bitcoin during the same period of time. Now, other cryptocurrencies did it. Oasis Network did it clearly, and that gives us the resistance point. And if we take our local high, right, we move our margin pressure levels, our short margin pressure levels back down to this local high, what do we see? Where is the next support point? Well, that's 20 cents. And you see that would have caught this wick perfectly. We almost came down to it with this low over here. And we recently wicked down to this 1x short level, and we're currently testing this support again. However, we have come up and made a more recent local high, right? So if we wanted to trade this trend, this downtrend, we'd probably want to be looking to go long on Oasis Rose at about 17 cents. Now, if the market turns around and we just start, going up from here, obviously you're not going to get filled at 17 cents. But if all your trade orders are getting filled, then you're probably setting them too high, right? So 17 cents for Oasis Rose would be just a fantastic entry for both a short-term and a long-term position. Now we are starting to dance and tickle the green dashed easy band line, which can act as support. It can act as support. However, I would be more inclined to buy deep in these green easy band levels if we see this market crash down to 17 cents. Is now the worst place in the world to be buying? No, I don't. I don't blame anybody if they wanted to start buying and taking a small position here, but more aggressive positions, I'd be waiting for 16 to 17 cents down here at this 1x short level. We can throw on the Sunsa levels real quick. And from this high to this low, and you can see that this is where we got our resistance, right? We measured this high to this local low, and where do we get our resistance on our retest? We got our resistance here on the 1-to-1 ratio. However, once we can put on these indicators, we got it at the 3-to-1 and the 2-to-1. Initially at the 3-to-1, we pushed through the 2-to-1, and then we bounced off, right? If I expand these out to capture the entire move from June of 2021, this low, all the way up to this high, you can see our perfect support level for this wick back here was at 18 cents. 18 cents, and that's where we'd expect some additional support. Now, if we layer this on with our margin pressure levels, we get a nice range, a nice buy support range between 17 and 18 cents. And if we layer all of this on with our margin pressure levels, we get this nice accumulation band kind of encapsulating both of those levels between 15 cents and 20 cents. So anywhere between 15 and 20 cents with a really nice support zone of 17 to 18 cents on Oasis Network is where I'd be looking to buy. Do we want to jump into Elrond as well?
Yeah, unless you got something else you wanted to cover.
Yeah, if there's any projects you want to talk about, or if there's one that looks juicy or that you're liking, let us know.
No, Elrond works. We can jump if that's what the chat's looking at. I'm happy to do Elrond. It's a good project. First thing I always like to do is I just throw on the easy bands because it just tells me just looking at the candlestick, it's so difficult. Like, I don't know if this is overbought. I don't know if this is oversold. To me, just eyeballing it, it looks somewhere in between. We had our high up here. We had our low down here. But this was a massive uptrend, so it looks like it's cooling down. But I really don't know where is this project. And it looks like it's slightly oversold right now. If we throw on our 21-week simple moving average, the yellow band here, we do see that we are trending below. We are trending down. So this is also these easy bands are also helping us identify the trend, the direction of the price action. We are in a downtrend, right? So yeah, I mean, we're oversold, but we're not in this easy band accumulation region anymore. So anywhere under $124 for a longer term position investment makes sense to me. Not super crazy about buying at these specific levels for an altcoin that's not in like the top 10. Right, Elrond ranked number 41 by market cap. I want to get this at a lower level if I can. All right, so I'm going to throw on the Sunsa levels before we do our margin pressure levels. And again, you see that resistance came in off of this previous move at the 3-to-1 and the 2-to-1 Sunsa levels. Those are just the levels at which you can no longer get those 3-to-1 and 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio trades. Now, if we back this thing up all the way up to pretty much zero, right? It's all-time low, all the way up to its all-time high. We start to see that we do have a nice support range around $144. Anything under $144, you are getting 3-to-1 in terms of a risk to reward ratio. So to be honest, anywhere under $144, I don't hate. I don't hate at all for a solid project like Elrond. Lastly, I want to throw on our margin pressure levels let's throw them off of maybe this most recent high. All right, so we are getting a little bit of support in this range between our 3X and the 2X short. The shorts are running out of a little bit of steam, but it does look like we've fallen through, right? So our 1X short level, which would be a really, really good support level to buy, would be $107 So anywhere between 107 and 143 is fair game. If I was looking for a more aggressive position, I'd be favoring and being a little bit more aggressive towards wanting to get it for a lower price of $108, which is also on this nice previous resistance over here. That'd be a really great place to pick up some Elron. Is it the worst buy in the world right now? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We've got the Sunset level support. We're slightly above our green margin pressure levels, or not our green easy band levels, but they are tilted down rather rapidly. So I wouldn't mind waiting for a cheaper price down here at maybe $108, somewhere in this green accumulation range. So yeah, that's Elrond.
Awesome. Now, Forrest, I got a quick question.
Sure.
Solana at $94 or Avalanche at $65. What are you putting your money in?
Both. I have long orders in both right now. Solana probably is, I think, trading a little bit closer to our margin pressure levels and our Sunset levels, and 94 is a really big support level for Solana. From a technical analysis standpoint, I'd go with Solana, and I can kind of show you why, unless you don't want me to dive in too deep. But basically, Solana's been following the support really, really nicely. Right, we had our 3-to-1 level, we had our 1-to-1 level resistance, and then we had support at the 2-to-1, and we've kind of broken below this 2-to-1, and we're kind of trying to test back up above it. But if we isolate for our most recent move, this low to this high, we see we're just nestling down in this 2-to-1 and 3-to-1 range. Which is a really, really solid place to buy, especially if this market turns around. There's no guarantee. Like, everything right now is at the mercy of the S&P 500, of the legacy market to some degree. If we see that recover, this will have been a really, really solid entry point. Now, if we cut over to Avax is not nearly, I think it's actually performed pretty bad. It's down to rank 15 by market cap. It's actually been trading really, really crummy lately. And the support isn't quite as strong until you get down to some of these lower levels. If we isolate for this most recent move, you can see we actually have quite a long ways to go to get back down to our 2-to-1 and 3-to-1 levels. These are the levels that Solana's already at, right? These are the levels Solana's are already at, and we'd have to get down to $55 to get to this 2-to-1 support level. And while I am long at this really, really nice horizontal level on Avax, right? You can see our trend line support over here, or our horizontal support where price action actually is at 65. I am long here, but $55 is the better entry point. So I'd prefer to get in at $55 for Avax than 65. So to answer your question, I think both are good buys here. But Solana is just trading a lot better from a technical perspective.
Hey, Forrest, earlier we were kind of discussing, so do you have any merit, or do you look at days of the week as far as what's trending? So it seemed the last 3 Fridays we've had a pretty big sell-off. Do you take any of that into account, or do you just think it's just how it kind of lines up? But do you find any correlation to charts on days of the week or month?
I'm like 99% sure there is something there. I just don't personally try to isolate for those variables. I try to isolate for the stuff that I know I can isolate for, like risk to reward, like margin, leverage trading in the market, being overbought or oversold with easy bands. I'm sure there's something there, but I haven't done like a deep enough level analysis to really uncover what it is enough to be confident of, I mean, like, you can, speaking of like days of the week and stuff like that, I mean, there's like people that trade off of like moon phases and cycles and astrology, and like people think it's crazy, but Gann was I think his name was William Gann, was like one of the greatest traders of all time. And like, he was super into numerology and astrology and stuff. And if you can figure something out there where, hey, Gann super into 15-day cycles and 30-day cycles, there's probably a bit of psychology there with the calendar months. And if you can actually figure out and uncover what that is, I'm sure it's very profitable. I'm just not an expert in that field.
Fair enough.
Cool.
So when Saturn lines up with Venus and Sun is to the 35th angle,
Right.
that's when you buy Bitcoin.
The summer solstice, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you gotta keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah. So are you and just kind of wrap it up, just kind of are you an NFL guy? Like, do you have a favorite team?
We got the draft over here.
Well, so when the Falcons are good, I like watching football, but the problem is they're never good. They haven't been good for a very long time.
It's been a while.
The one
That's
year
great
that
TA
they
on the
were
Atlanta
good, it
Falcons
was
right
the
there,
most
man.
painful time to be a Falcons fan ever when they lost the Super Bowl
Oh, that was
to
rough.
Tom Brady. So
Oh man, you know what?
Yeah.
I remember that. I was in
That was
I was
so
in
bad,
Napa
dude.
Valley on a wine trip, just drinking wine, and I was just watching the game, and I was just like,
All right, they got it in the bag.
yeah.
Nope.
I like left the bar, and then I was somewhere else, and then I hear like people cheering, and I'm like, what's going on over here?
Like, you'd be scoring, man. You'd be scoring.
That was rough.
Yeah. All right. Well, Forrest, we know you're a busy man. Thank you so much again for joining us on this beautiful Friday to spread your knowledge to our community and us. We appreciate you, my man. And enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Thanks again, brother.
absolutely, sounds great.
Thanks
for
Forrest.
having
Take
me
care.
on. Peace.
You know, speaking of draft, you know, it's still round 2. The Raiders still have no draft.
Still?
Yeah, we don't get a first pick until the third round.
Hey, there's a lot of good talent in the third round that the Raiders are probably not going to draft.
You know, you mentioned yesterday they're gonna boat people out. That we're gonna boat people out.
Yeah,
They didn't
in
do
the
that.
Venetian gondolas.
No, they didn't do that.
They didn't do that?
No, did you
So-
even watch the draft?
Did they make them walk on the water?
How do you live in Vegas? And we're having the
You know what I was doing?
what?
Reading my book, The Bitcoin Standard, that I bought you. Did you read it? No, you haven't. What do? Watch the draft. Why? I don't know. You feel me, Eddie?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
So I do.
So we only had two people reply comments on what they wanted TA on, which was Why You Loud and Daniel. And both of your coins got some TA from our man Forrest. So there you go. I've been talking about Oasis for a while. I love the project. I love the fact that it's headed by a female. I think it's so important to put more women in position of power, launching projects. It's just, we need more diversity. I mean, and for it to come on Coinbase is huge. I have a bag of Rose. I currently have it on KuCoin right now, but I'll probably end up moving it over to Coinbase. So I keep a majority of my coins. So also, towards the end of the show, we will be raffling off a Kudagi NFT that was minted by one of our community members, Brokiyoshi. So stay tuned for that. Also, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you guys go register if you want the NFT. All right. With that being said, let's get into our very next and also our last segment, the hot take, or talking points. Before we get into the laptop, I think we had a new person in the chat. Has Emmanuel been here before?
Yeah, he's been here.
I feel like he has, yeah.
Emmanuel, welcome back. All right, let's get into our articles. What's happening in the world of crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin today? First article, Swiss National Bank says no to buying and holding Bitcoin as a reserve currency. However, speaking at a meeting, the head of Swiss National Bank has said the asset does not currently fit the provisions of a reserve currency. Quoted as saying, "We do not believe Bitcoin meets the requirements of currency reserves. But from the current perspective, we do not believe meets the requirements. That's why we have until now decided not to have Bitcoin on our balance sheet. As global economies face the threat of rising inflation and a possible recession, proponents like Michael Saylor believe Bitcoin is the only alternative for people seeking to conserve their wealth. With the geopolitical tensions in Eastern Europe and Putin's Russia threatening the dollar base by requesting payments for Russian gas in rubles, pundits speculate that we might see countries adopt the number one digital asset by market cap as a reserve currency if the dollar is displaced as a global reserve currency." Robin, is this a mistake by Swiss Bank?
I mean, I suppose you can look at it that way, but I mean, honestly, I don't look at it as a correct or a mistake. It's still super early, and be careful what you wish for, because if nation states start adopting Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a reserve asset, I mean, you're going to be taking a ton of the supply off of the markets. Price is going to shoot up. And then at some point, it's going to be a bidding war between nation states. And so, I mean, just imagine if one of the top 20 nations in the world, just one of them, puts $50 billion into Bitcoin. I mean, we're sitting at, shy of, what's the market cap? $700 billion on the Bitcoin market cap. Nothing. And, the U.S. could shift over $1 trillion, which is more than the entire net worth of all the Bitcoin in existence. And so to sit here and say, hey, is it a mistake that, the Swiss, didn't put it on their balance, on their reserve balance sheet? Are they ready?
Hell yeah, it's a mistake.
Is the world ready?
Yes, it's a mistake.
Are you ready for Bitcoin to pump up? Because here's the thing: once that arms race starts, because that's what it is. Once that arms race starts, at that point, bye to cheap Bitcoin. And so for right now, I'm good, bro. I'm trying to fill this $36,000 order, bro.
You're thinking about yourself. Is the bank making a mistake?
The markets will come.
They're 100% making a mistake. What better reserve currency than something that cannot be inflated?
And also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Clearwater. Welcome. Hola! Sin City Crypto.
Are you from Clearwater, Florida? That's where my ex-girlfriend's brother lives. Anyways, this is 100% a mistake. Like, seriously, the only argument you can make is Bitcoin is not, you can't use it as legal tender in the world, like the US dollar. But everything else literally fits the mold of what you look for in a reserve currency. It's a mistake. Eddie, you think it's a mistake?
Yep.
There you go, my man. I'm going to bring you some chips and dip tomorrow.
All right.
I bought some yogurt today.
Yeah, but
we also have Doritos.
Yogurt. You bought flavored yogurt.
Hey, man.
Ain't nobody dipping no Doritos in no strawberry yogurt, bro.
Take the flavor out.
Okay, listen. If you bring me Cool Ranch Doritos and Faye plain yogurt, I will eat it. Right? Now shut your mouth.
That's nasty.
It is eventually going to happen. But
you like crumbling up Fritos in your bowl of cereal too?
Yeah. Now this is interesting because Switzerland is a pretty pro-crypto country. Their bank is very pro-crypto. It's just like Robin said, I'm not ready because I want to buy at 36,000. Well, what are you going to do, Switzerland? You're going to wait till another country does it first? This Bitcoin price shoots up to 100K. Now you want to buy it? Come on, man.
But, also, I really would, and joking aside about price, I think that ideally the path that you want to go on for Bitcoin adoption would be retail, which we've kind of already went there, then institution, and then nation state. Because right now, if I'm just afraid, if Switzerland starts picking up Bitcoin, another country starts doing it, what's to stop China from coming in and scooping up a big chunk of the Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Like, let the market cap grow, and then once it's established itself enough, because right now it's not a reserve, it's not like a means of exchange. Swiss is not going to buy Bitcoin right now and start trading goods and paying off debts and issuing bonds in Bitcoin. Not there yet. But all they're going to do is just take the supply out. And I think for the price, also for its growth, the same way you don't want to see a parabolic rise. I don't want to see Bitcoin go from 36,000 to 200,000 because you know what's on the back end? A giant
which is
crash.
where you pick up more.
And then you know what? I just want steady long-term growth.
You're going to see a moonshot, bro. Whether it's another country doing reserve currency, whether it's a spot ETF, it's going to happen. Right or wrong? I'm
telling you, you want this regulation. You want the SEC to pass the Bitcoin.
Screw the SEC and Gary the Gun.
ETF. You want that to be passed. I'm telling you, man, some long, steady, slow growth. Keeps everybody from freaking out.
Robin, that can't happen if there's not enough Bitcoin on exchanges. It keeps declining every day.
Well, exactly. You want Swiss to pull off half the supply?
Hell yeah, brother.
No.
Now we start dividing it into Satoshis and not Bitcoin. So instead of buying one Bitcoin, you're going to be buying 100 million Satoshis or 10 million Satoshis.
We're at a good pace right now.
We're getting there. We're not at a good pace. We need mass adoption. Switzerland, what the hell wrong with you? All right.
Why don't you go adopt some more kids?
What? I'm fine with the 3 I have. Trust me. More than enough. All right. We're moving on. Goldman Sachs stacking sats. Was that on the thumbnail?
No.
Oh, you changed it? That was a good one.
Yeah,
original
it's too much
thumbnail.
S. It just looked confusing.
Too much ass?
Yeah, exactly.
Never too much ass. Goldman Sachs offers its first Bitcoin-backed loan. Wall Street banking giant Goldman Sachs has announced its first ever lending facility that has been backed by Bitcoin. The secured lending facility loaned cash collateralized by Bitcoin held by the borrower. The arrangement allows crypto owners to receive fiat such as US dollars by using their crypto as collateral, but it is a first for the Wall Street Bank. The move is another sign that big banks are embracing crypto and broadening their services to incorporate clients with digital asset investments. Again, crypto and Bitcoin is a direct attack on traditional banks. And so they know they can't ban it. They know they can't censor it. They know they can't change it. So what is the only other option they have left, guys? Is to incorporate it, is to adopt it.
Or to have a Bitcoin party.
And that is what is literally happening right now. That is why Bitcoin is inevitable. Crypto is inevitable. Because even when you're pushing up against the largest companies, the largest sector in the entire world, they have no choice but to get with the program. Give me goosebumps. According to the global head of digital assets for Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management Division, Mary Rich, the bank wants to follow Morgan Stanley by offering crypto investments for its private equity clients, aka really rich people. The Wall Street behemoth was anything but optimistic in regards to the cryptocurrency industry up until a year ago. It went from having a digital asset trading platform to halting it years later, while also bashing Bitcoin in the meantime. And then just some kind of context. In one particular case from May 2020, the bank said Bitcoin is not an asset class. Some months down the line, though, Goldman started changing its tune by hiring a crypto research team, publishing several bullish reports predicting a $100,000 price tag for Bitcoin, participating in funding rounds, and perhaps most notably, filing for that sweet old spot ETF. So, Small Rob, I'm going to send it over to you. What are your thoughts?
You call me Small Rob?
Yeah, because you haven't worked out.
All right, so Goldman Sachs, perennial powerhouse, investment tycoon,
Titans
of the financial sector. Amazing. You know, it wasn't too long ago that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, I do. It wasn't too long ago. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs were sitting here screaming that Bitcoin is poison and
rat poison.
Yeah, all that
Going to
mess.
zero.
And now look where we're looking.
We remember you.
Now look where we're at. You know, I got a proposal here. Let's just say you got a bar of gold in your closet, and you want to go get a loan. You don't want to sell your gold. You think you can walk into Goldman Sachs with a bar of gold and be like, "Yo, can I get a loan on this thing?"
You can walk into a pawn shop though.
You could pawn a bar of gold,
but they're gonna destroy you on the price. You're not gonna get market value.
No, not at all. And not to mention, I don't think they got enough liquid cash to give you a loan on a bar. You know how much a bar of gold costs nowadays?
$2,000.
I'm thinking about
how much is in a bar of gold? How many ounces?
I don't know. I'm thinking about like that big square, like
they're called. One coin.
It's $28,000 for a pound.
Oh shoot!
I think a pound of
gold. They don't come in squares. They come in rectangles.
Pound of gold is somewhere around like $30,000 for a pound, I think. And
Robin, Russell said he likes your tattoos. He's got a really nice one on his lower back. I think there's a name for those. I'm not sure what they're called, but got a sneak peek one time when he was.
I got a bunch. I got.
Anyways, we're not
all
going
on
down
my side and back. And, anyways,
yeah,
I haven't got a tattoo in a while. You know, that was in my younger days.
How many tattoos do you think I have? Guys, how many tattoos do you think David has? Put the number in the chat.
So it says 400 ounces of gold bar, $781,000
for a bar?
for a bar.
Damn.
400 ounces, like the big one.
Yeah, the thick one. The one you see in like the cartoons and stuff.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, even though the U.S. government and governments around the world have been off the gold standard, they are still hoarding gold.
It's part of the Treasury Reserve assets. That's one of the big things that happened to Russia when they got sanctioned. They had a lot of gold assets, also just fiat across borders, and a lot of it just got sanctioned. It's kind of gotta suck, man. Could you imagine if you?
But
were
I mean,
just,
don't go starting war in other people's countries and messing stuff up, man.
I don't feel bad for Russia. I mean, it's gonna suck that if let's say you started a business. Let's say we started Sin City Crypto, but in Russia, and we made a name for ourselves, and we decided to store some of our assets in a bank account overseas because we didn't trust the Russian government.
We'd be screwed.
Boom, gone. Like that.
Yeah.
That's why you need Bitcoin. How you doing? Or cryptocurrency.
I'm going to give away $25 of my personal Bitcoin to whoever guesses the correct answer of how many tattoos I have. So,
it's the worst giveaway ever, bro.
Really? You want to give away money? That's what I thought. Go ahead.
It's
what we got here?
that's lame. You're like, guess how many tattoos I have. If you can guess how many freckles
Just because you're plain ass. It's just you're boring.
I'll give out $30 if you can guess how many freckles I got on my butt cheek.
Whatever, bro. All right, what do we got here?
So this is one of the most popular places where you go buy coins, gold, silver. This is 1 kilo.
1 kilo. How many pounds are in a kilo? Was it like
2.2.
2.2?
So that's if you pay with each X is $63,000. Otherwise, if you pay $66,000.
Damn.
And of course, you pay more premium depending on who is the provider. In this case, the first mint is the New Zealand one, if I remember wrong.
I don't like New Zealand.
You know, every time I see like gold like that, I always just want to bite it because that's how they used to do in the West. In the Westerner movies, you always see like, is it real gold? They like bite it and like, and then it looks.
What the hell?
It's fool's gold.
Yeah, you're a fool and you're not gold. So we're moving on to some Bitcoin news. BIP 119. Here's everything you need to know about the Bitcoin proposal. So if you're not familiar with what BIP stands for, it's a Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. You've seen Ethereum's EIP, same thing, Ethereum Improvement Proposal. So if you ever wonder what that is, there you go. Bitcoin core developer Jeremy Rubin is rushing the Bitcoin community into a speedy trial for his miner activated soft fork. He's pushing for a significant change to one of the currency's operation codes. Rubin's proposed operation code, check template verify, would introduce covenants, a new kind of conditional transaction. Some senior developers are supportive, others are fuming with frustration. BIP's introduced new code, which usually requires a fork to activate. Rubin has submitted a BIP 119, which would permit on-chain covenants. Now, what is an on-chain covenant? An example would be sending a Bitcoin to someone who can then only send that Bitcoin to a particular address. Covenants and their various configurations allow for more expressive programming and transaction routing. BIP 119 requires approval from 90% of the network's mining power. Jeremy Rubin, and this is a little bit about Jeremy Rubin, he founded Judica, which is a research and development firm that focuses on a proposed smart contract programming language named Sapio. His company would benefit financially from the adoption of BIP 119. How do you feel about this, man? I don't like this at all. You want to fork Bitcoin to add a covenant, which would essentially make some transactions only valid if they are sent to certain addresses. What? The whole point of Bitcoin is the opposite of that, right, Robin?
I'm kind of lost. What is he trying to do here?
So he proposed.
I read over the article.
So covenant. So I'll read this again. An example of a covenant would be sending a Bitcoin to someone who can then only send that Bitcoin to a particular address. Essentially, if I send you a Bitcoin.
Here's the thing, man. These Bitcoin forks are ridiculous. I mean, you had Bitcoin Cash, you had Bitcoin SV, you got, all of these other. It's, for me, straight up money grab. All you're doing is airdropping all the wallets that have a Bitcoin address already, and you're just doubling the supply. You're basically just creating a replica and then under some new rules. And obviously, it's shady for that aspect because, first of all, you're not being very go start something new, basically.
Yeah, and the fact that his company would benefit from it financially, like, come on, man. I don't like this at all.
I don't like any of the Bitcoin forks. Do you?
The Taproot one was good.
The Taproot?
Taproot, that was a BIP that passed. There was another one that passed. So Segwit was a good one too.
Oh, okay. So this is a proposal.
This is a proposal.
I thought this was a hard.
No, this is a proposal, but he's trying to speed it up by doing a speedy trial.
Okay.
But you still need 90% of the other miners to approve, and I don't think it's going to happen. I mean,
well, the Bitcoin miners, they don't like approving anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And so to get any proposal through,
it would have to be
if it isn't like general consensus that this is good for the network. I mean, you had 2017 where they tried to expand the block size. They had that block size wars. That was a mess, and that's what started Bitcoin Cash essentially. And so
which Robin thinks is useless.
It is, man. It's all it is Bitcoin with a larger block size. Well, nobody wants to use that trash.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So how many tattoos do you have?
Yeah, what's the answer?
What's the answer? I have 0. Who's the
wow,
winner?
that was a great contest.
Hey, bro, shut your ass up, man. I'm giving money to our community.
I thought you'd have like a Mickey Mouse tattoo on your like ankle or something.
Oh, no. Sorry, I don't have Batman wings on my back like you. Dark Knight Rises over here. Hey, you going to give out any of your money, you cheap ass?
Yeah, but
go ahead. Give it out. Do something.
It'll be something related to crypto.
Like what? Go ahead. Right now. Give out some of your money right now.
If you can tell me what my favorite cereal is, I'll give you $20.
There you go. Guess Robin's favorite cereal. He'll give you $20 of his own money in Bitcoin. There you go. You heard it on the air. Russell, I'll send you $25.
There you go, Russell. Good job guessing 0.
Pretty sure you have. I have your wallet address. Just go ahead and email it to me. You have my email. Sin City Crypto. All right. Let's move on.
You would like us to audit and verify the tattoo, we will spin David around after we cut off the stream, just to verify that you are the winner. There's no tattoos hiding around. So,
Bro Kiyoshi said Fruity Pebbles. You're such an idiot, bro. You are words I can't say on air because we'll get canceled. Now you
know what my favorite cereal is though?
What?
The Rice Krispie treat cereal. They come in like little nugget balls. Like
the hold on, Rice Krispie shit. The treats, Rice Krispie.
Yeah, bro.
Money. Those are my favorite.
Those
all right.
So
now we only have 10 10 entries for the KuCoin NFT. We'll draw that in about 10-15 minutes. So if you want a free NFT from our community member Brokiyoshi, make sure you click the link in the chat. And just your name and email address. That's it. All right, let's move on because we're running behind. U.S. lawmakers reintroduce bill to give CFTC crypto spot market oversight. A bipartisan set of U.S. lawmakers are introducing a bill that will give the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, a.k.a. the CFTC, a greater role in overseeing crypto spot markets. By the way, I know it's bipartisan, but it's an inside joke. The Digital Commodity Exchange Act of 2022, which was introduced Thursday by, looks like bipartisan, just like the article says, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans. Some familiar names, Tom Emmer, which is very pro Bitcoin and crypto, and then Darren Soto from Florida as well. Now, this would create a definition for digital commodity and allow the CFTC to oversee companies issuing or letting people trade these types of tokens, while having the SEC continue to oversee tokens that fall under the securities laws. And this is a quote from the copy of the bill. The term digital commodity means any form of fungible, intangible personal property that can be exclusively possessed and transferred person to person without necessary reliance on an intermediary. So essentially every single crypto. So fungible means exchangeable, and intangible means you can't really hold it, touch it. It's not physical, which is crypto. The SEC will continue to enjoy its own oversight over aspects of the crypto market, But if this bill passes, I mean, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, if this passes, every single crypto would be under the CFTC rule, correct? Except for NFTs.
No,
right?
Here's the thing. You got to remember that
You have, what does it say?
No. So it's the CFTC. Okay, first of all, they regulate certain items or certain commodities, and so does the SEC, and they cross on a ton of stuff. So there's no one agency to rule them all. Just like the housing market's got 4 different agencies that oversee it. The same thing can be said with stocks. Same thing is gonna be the same with the digital with cryptocurrencies. I mean, you're gonna have the Treasury in there, and that is why we had the executive order. So this idea that one, hey, here's a bill. This is they're gonna be the ones that SEC is not gonna touch. Like, no, like our government works where different branches have different responsibilities. So there you go.
Yeah. But you don't think if this law passes, I mean, literally what it says. Any form of fungible, intangible personal property that can be exclusively possessed and transferred person to person without an intermediary. Is that not crypto? Is that not all of crypto except
You
NFTs?
asked me a question.
I know, but I'm clarifying. Is that not all of crypto?
Okay, then what are you trying to get
So
at?
this, they're all going to be commodities, CFTC?
They're not all going to be commodities.
CFTC, we love you. Get Gary out of here. We like you, CFTC.
You're not reading in between the lines here. This is
you're so good at
basically
reading.
this is just the CFTC wants oversight on all crypto. That's all it is. It's not going to make things easier, more transparent, or whatever. They just want they're just trying to do clear cut. Like, hey, look, CFTC is stepping up. Like, look, we're going to propose a bill so that way we can have oversight on all cryptos. That's all it is. And it doesn't take power away, doesn't give them more power, it just clarifies it. Hey, look here. We're going to regulate this thing. That's all they're saying.
Okay. Polkadex, which is you can probably guess, Polkadot's Dex, closes in on a Polkadot parachain slot. As the Polkadot parachain auctions enter auction number 16, Polkadex is closer than ever before securing a parachain spot once and for all. Auction number 16, which starts today and will last for 1 week, will pit the Polkadex crowd loan against late newcomer Bifrost Finance. Within that time frame, the project that spends the most time leading with the highest amount of DOT loaned will get the highest chance to win the auction. For Polkadex, securing a slot to the Polkadot network ensures Polkadex order book and other Polkadex products are able to support there's a lot of Polkadot-based tokens from across parachains. In other words, Polkadot's ecosystem tokens will soon be available on the first ever cross-chain non-custodial order book-based exchange featuring high-frequency trading. Robin, big news, small news, no news?
I don't know, man. I mean, you got Polkadex. They were already. Do they need to go on the parachain auction?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
What the hell is what are the advantages? No. I mean, okay. Here's more integration. You're integrated with the layer 1. You get capital investment and TVL and all that doing the parachain auctions. But if you're an automated market maker, a DEX, a clone of Uniswap, I mean, I don't understand the benefit of it. I'm sure there's benefit. I don't get into the code and the auctions. I think that is one of the things that kind of holds Polkadot back, at least for me, is that a little confusing, right? I mean, do you need the auctions? I mean, doesn't the dApps work without it? And it's a DEX, you know what I mean? It's a DEX, so I mean,
And it's a Polkadot DEX. So, I mean,
I don't know, man.
right?
I mean, so for me, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know how I feel either. All right. I think that's it.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because the other two, the other 3 articles aren't really. Oh my God. Unless there's one, Robin, you would like me to cover.
No, I'm good, man.
We're good. I'm good
Good.
too. All right,
We'll
let's
wrap it up.
draw this NFT thing, guys. Let's draw and see who is the. I'm doing it. Who will be the winner? We have 13 entries, so let's draw a winner. The winner of the KuCoin, Doggy, Big Slim Dog, 100 carat gold chain is Emmanuel. Emmanuel
Is that Russell?
Ifenai from Nigeria. You have one.
Oh, that's Emmanuel that we were asking about if he had been here before. So.
Emmanuel, congratulations. You are the proud winner of a KuCoin NFT. It's a little doggy. Very.
Does he need, how does it, what kind of wallet does he need?
So he needs, what I did is I did a MetaMask wallet and you just put in the KuCoin mainnet. Super easy. I will email you, Emmanuel, and if you need any help setting up the wallet, I will personally help you myself, my friend. Also, big thank you and shout out to our community member, Brokyoshi. Like I said a few days ago, our community is so amazing. They always want to give back to each other. That's what we're trying to build. We love that. So, Brokyoshi, thank you so much. And Emmanuel, congratulations. You will get an email from SinCityCrypto1@gmail. And we won't ask for anything personal, password, seed phrase, nothing. If you need help setting up the MetaMask with KuCoin, I'll be more than happy to help you. And that's it. All right? So, and Russell, email me, email SinCityCrypto1@gmail, your Bitcoin address you want your $25 sent to. And good job. 0 tattoos. Even though my wife's been trying to get me to get a tattoo. No smart ass comments? No smart ass comments from either of you? I for sure thought you were going to have a smart ass comment. You're sitting over there.
Today's show is brought to you by David's lack of tattoos.
Oh, man. Anyways, let's roll the outro, Mr. Producer. Let's put it on studio cable. You see the little staff here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. Big shout out and thank you to Forrest. The link to Crypto Stackers and his Twitter is on our description of this video. Make sure you go support this man. He comes on, doesn't ask for anything in return. So please, let's go show him our support. We love you guys. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Peace.
Calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on an island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next step, whoa, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lady. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I repay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain, wonder if you should try again. Look at me inside your braces. Can't focus when we face to face. Plenty things I could go say. Name a place I go and pay it. Said she want no boo. Been around the world, plenty things I can show you. Taking flights to GA for our soul food. Gotta pay 1K for GA at my shows too. Keep it 1K with my fans even at my lows.